Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about something that's, well, it's like a personal superpower for growth and understanding. It comes from the Raft to Freedom program, and it's called fearless investigation. So let's start with a feeling I think we all know. You know that feeling, right? When you're just stuck, caught in a loop, doing the same thing over and over, and you just can't figure out why or how to get out. It's so frustrating. But what if there was a tool to help you really see the why behind it all and find your way forward? Well, the RAF program has this amazing way of looking at it. It frames this whole process as a journey. In fact, RAFT itself is an acronym for the steps on that path. You recognize what's happening, you abandon what's not working, you cultivate freedom, and you train in what is skillful. It's this voyage, you see, from a dangerous shore of struggle to a safe shore of well-being. And any good voyage, well, it needs a great navigation system. So, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the inner navigation system that powers this whole journey. Then, we'll get really clear on what fearless investigation is. After that, we'll see how you can actually cultivate it, what happens when you start using it, and we'll wrap up with a final reflection. All right, first up, let's get into what really powers this journey to freedom. Let's look inside the engine room of your raft, at the inner strengths that are going to propel you forward. The Raft program talks about these 4 superpowers. First, there's noble desire. That's the spark, the motivation that gets you started. Then you've got courageous energy. That's the fuel that keeps you going when things get tough. The heart's compass. Think of that as your inner gyroscope, keeping you steady and on course. And then there's the one we're focusing on today, fearless investigation. This is your smart onboard diagnostic and navigation system. Okay, so let's get right to it. What exactly is fearless investigation? It's more than just looking at things. Think of it as this deep wisdom that not only sees what's happening, but actively learns from it, so you can adapt and change course. And you know, this whole idea, it isn't some new fad. This is ancient wisdom. Gautama, the Buddha himself, really encouraged the spirit of inquiry. He told people, hey, don't just follow what you hear, investigate for yourself. See what's actually skillful, what truly leads to happiness. It's all about finding out for yourself, not just believing what someone tells you. And this, right here, this is the core of it all. Fearless investigation isn't about being some harsh detective trying to find everything you did wrong. No, it's an active process, but it's fueled by a genuine, caring curiosity. It's about being willing to learn from every single thing that happens without that heavy layer of judgment. And this slide just nails the difference, doesn't it? It's a total game changer. Self-blame gets us stuck in that toxic loop of asking, what's wrong with me? But fearless investigation breaks that cycle completely. It asks a much more powerful, much more useful question. What can I learn from this? And suddenly, everything, even the hard stuff, becomes a lesson. Okay, this sounds amazing, right? But the big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you build this superpower of inner wisdom in your own life? Well, the RAF program gives us a really clear roadmap for this. It all begins with cultivating a genuine sense of curiosity. That's step 1. Then you use mindfulness as the foundation, so you can see things clearly. This naturally leads to taking time for reflection, which is where you learn to ask those really wise questions. And when you do that, you start to learn from everything, your successes and your setbacks. And that, in turn, gives you the confidence to experiment skillfully with new ways of doing things. So what happens when you really start using this superpower day to day? I mean, the change is huge. It completely transforms how you see your own patterns and how you navigate the challenges that life throws at you. And check out the results of doing this work. It's not some vague idea. You actually start to see the real causes and conditions behind your patterns. You can finally tell which strategies are genuinely working for you. It helps you see through your own excuses and rationalizations. And maybe the most powerful thing of all? It turns a slip-up from a total catastrophe into an incredible learning opportunity. And that's what weakens the grip of those old habits. I love this quote from Pema Chodron because it just captures the whole spirit of this perfectly. Every challenge, every difficult pattern, it has something to teach us. Fearless investigation is the tool we use to figure out what that lesson is, so the pattern can finally let go. Okay, as we bring this all together, let's think about how you can actually take this powerful tool with you and start using it on your own journey. You know, it's so important to recognize who put this amazing framework together. This is the work of Dr. Catherine Jacob and Vince Cullen. They have dedicated so much to creating these tools and sharing them with the world. And when I say they're sharing it, they really mean it. The entire 67-chapter workbook is available for you to download completely free at rafttofreedom.org. You can dive so much deeper into this and all the other concepts for your own journey. So, I want to leave you with a question, a little piece of fearless investigation for you to take with you. Just think about it honestly. When you hit a setback, when something doesn't work out, what's your go-to response? Is it that old habit of self-blame, or can you see an opening there to try curiosity instead? And let's finish with this one final thought, often credited to John Dewey. It really gets to the heart of everything we've talked about today. The experience itself, that's not where the learning is. The real growth, the wisdom, the change, that comes from how we reflect on the experience. And that, right there, is the heart of fearless investigation.